Thank you, Blake. So for the water status in the city, we are seeing quite a bit of improvement as we went through yesterday and into this morning. We've been able to make quite a few repairs for different main breaks. We are still asking for water conservation from our residents and customers. One of the issues is we still have quite a few breaks, and we're doing what we can to get those fixed. We have private contractors out today joining us along with tomorrow and into next week. And so kind of the list that we have, and probably more will be added as we find more, is being attacked one by one. But because of the situation with just still those leaks occurring, we ask people as they can to conserve water. Hopefully most of our the viewers that you have here and our citizens are starting to see that resumption of pressure at their homes. Be careful as you start to get that back on, as you don't want your pipes to burst. That is a very serious issue that people should be considering. The boil water notice is also still in effect because of the resumption of pressure and the fact that we're getting our tanks filled and towers filled up to the points that they need to be. We are looking to see that we'll probably be able to have the boil water notice lifted if everything goes as planned, either probably sometime on Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning, based upon when we can get those in and lab results, as just kind of for people to understand. Once you have to have the pressure going for a certain amount of time, tests will be taken. Our intent is to have tests taken on Sunday and brought to the lab at Net Health. And then actually we are working with Net Health to have somebody come in on Sunday instead of normal hours on Monday morning to be able to come in and start the testing. It takes about 18 hours for the samples to be studied and to monitor before the boil water notice can be lifted.
And at about 24 hours ago, the request from the city was for people to really, conserve as much water as possible and stop the faucets from dripping or streaming like they had for the past several days to prevent the pipes from freezing. And that was in order to really help in this process of getting back to that normal level of water pressure. What kind of progress have we made over the past day on that?
Yeah, the progress has been amazing. It's actually been faster than what we had kind of expected we'd see as we went through this. And so that people should be able to kind of start the resumption of their normal lives. They can be able to take showers again and get cleaned as pressure is there at their homes and properties. But don't continue to drip the sinks. That's been a big message we've had out there, and really want to beat the drum on, which is as long as people keep dripping sinks, and we're seeing thawing now, so there's really no reason to have your sinks dripping. So don't drip your sinks, because that does cause for just a massive water leak throughout the full city as everyone does it. So test your pipes, slowly get them back into progress. If you didn't do it last night, start doing that today. But don't try to have continual water flow going through your home, because that's what causes that doesn't allow for us to get everything back up to the pressure we need it to throughout the full city. But we are very pleased with the results we're seeing of the work that our crews are out there doing 24/7. These guys have been insanely busy, crazy, and doing incredible work, and we are so grateful for them. These are miracle workers out there with our utilities crews. But your part that you as the viewer and citizens can do is just don't go overboard on water use. Start to kind of, like I said, ease back into that normal life you have. And with boil water notice, if you can, also, take a look at what we have on our social media so you can understand how much water you should be using and how you should be using it in order to also for your own health and safety.
And as the system, of course, continues to stabilize, some people are still going to have that, lower water pressure than normal. We have heard from some people in the city who are still without water completely. In that situation, what should people be doing?
If you're without water completely, call our line. And I think we just put out our latest press release. In fact, I'm going to bring up that number. If you are not getting water and you don't think it's due to frozen pipes that you have, call 903-531-1285. That's a water service center, and they will be able to have crews come out, take a look to see what the problem is, and help you analyze why there's water. For some things, especially as we went through yesterday, we were finding that with valves that we may have turned off or on in order to kind of keep pressure going during those critical periods, especially as we tried to make sure that the hospitals were getting just some type of pressure in order for their operations to continue. As we go back, we're figuring out where do we need to go and kind of make some adjustments and changes. And so sometimes it's some simple fixes. Sometimes it may be a bit more complicated, but if you're still without water, please give us a call so we can have guys go out there, take a look at it, and try to figure out what your situation is. Because your situation may be something that the entire street or block is also going through, and that we can work together to fix.
Certainly. And I want to talk about those water main breaks that you mentioned earlier. I was looking at the latest update you guys sent out. It looks like, in the neighborhood of 25 breaks that are being prioritized today and tomorrow. Do we continue to find new breaks as the temperatures warm up? And I use the word warm lightly, but as temperatures warm up and the sun comes out, are we still finding those new breaks?
Yes. There's always, but what we're finding now are not the real big main breaks that we have. What we're finding are just line breaks that go into either different facilities we have or to people's homes or those type of situations. Those are the ones that we're kind of being started to be reported. Thankfully, for main breaks, we haven't really had any new big reports on those since yesterday morning. So we're starting to kind of really, as you saw that list, kind of prioritize, analyze, and figure out which of those main breaks to really start hitting, and still along the ways fix kind of the smaller breaks that are now starting to be found and reported.
Certainly. Mayor Warren, this next question is for you. Over the past several days, we've talked about, seeing members of the community come together in this difficult time, this time when neighbors really need help. I was just looking through social media this morning and through my email even, and we have several community organizations and businesses who were putting together water distribution events for members of our community and even other East Texas communities. Just looking for a comment on seeing our community really come together when we need one another.
Blake, thank you for that. We really have come together. I feel like we're kind of on the last lap of a long marathon. This week seems like it's been a month. But what I'd like to do is also just tell you and the people watching, I am so thankful for our staff, our employees, and like the city manager was saying, our streets department, our water department, fire, PD, everybody has worked so hard to try to get everybody's water back, electricity back. Our churches that have done these warming centers and have handed out water, the community and the neighbors are so thankful. The volunteers like NDMJ that are driving healthcare workers to the hospitals and people to the warming centers, they didn't have to do that. They want to do that. I mean, it's amazing. We've got local providers that have donated diesel for people's generators. We've got a local grocery store, Brookshire's, that has handed out water and have tried to stock their shelves and make it to where people have groceries. We had one deal earlier in the week where a senior citizen center had no power, and Brookshire's came about and provided a generator for this senior living center. So people really have come together. Judge Moran, Senator Hughes, Representative Schaefer. I mean, people are constantly calling and saying, "What do you need? What do you need from us?" And Blake, it's people like you guys, the media, that's helped get the word out. And that's what people need, and that's what people want is the transparency and what's going on and what's the truth. And so I think we've all kind of come together to do what needs to be done. And the last thing I'll say is similar to what you're really asking is we are people that are helping people. And that makes me proud of our community. And that's what our community is all about. So I just thank everybody for pitching in and making Tyler what it is.